And 3, we are processing underpayments in a more timely way to ensure that people who are owed money get it as soon as practically possible.
That was Martin O'Malley from the SSA saying that there are 3 changes to SSI and giving a big announcement there. You're not going to want to miss that. Also, we got some articles to go over here. Social Security announces an important change in paychecks to retirees. You're not going to want to miss that. Also, really interesting article here. Budget Chief says immigration surge could add $1 trillion to Social Security coffers. You're not going to want to miss that either. Got some really good information for you here. The SSA commissioner, and we're going to go over these payment changes to Social Security. So stay tuned for that. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Social Security updates. So first, before we go into this one about the $1 trillion to Social Security, let's go over this article first. So Social Security announces an important change in paychecks to retirees. What's going on here? So Social Security recently announced a major change in payroll payments to retirees, and no one wants to receive notification with inaccuracies in their Social Security payments. So you should understand more about the plan changes. Although in some cases, the SSA is susceptible to making mistakes that could lead them to pay you less than you deserve. The truth is that the overall SSA team's accuracy for underpayment in 2022 was 98.82%. Still a big, it's pretty good overall, but there were some under and over payments still. So reasons behind the overpayment issues from the Social Security Administration, calculation errors, as well as incorrect information. So how can the Social Security Administration prevent these errors? Well, if you are not currently retired, your best option for your job is to do an annual review of the data that has been reported to the Social Security Administration. This will allow you to identify any discrepancies and formally report any errors to the SSA. This also holds for SSI cases. It is preferable to over-communicate rather than under-report. However, this website has additional information. So if there is any discrepancies in your information, you want to report it to the SSA, to the Social Security Administration as soon as possible so you don't get underpaid or overpaid. Because if you do get overpaid, they did forgive a lot of those overpayments, but it looks like they are still going to collect a lot of those overpayments as well. So be aware of that. Speaking of the SSA and the SSI, take a look at what Commissioner Martin O'Malley has to say.
Hello, I'm Martin O'Malley, Commissioner of the Social Security Administration, and I invite you to celebrate an important milestone in our history, the 50th anniversary of SSA administering the Supplemental Security Income, or SSI program. After President Franklin Roosevelt signed the Social Security Act in 1935, the first Social Security check was issued in 1940. Nearly 3.5 decades later, SSA began issuing supplemental security income payments in January of 1974 after President Richard Nixon signed that bill in 1972 to provide assistance to aged, blind, and disabled individuals with very limited income and resources. When SSI was first implemented, we sent payments to approximately 4 million eligible people to help them meet basic needs with dignity and respect. 50 years later, the SSI program remains a lifeline for millions of people and households. SSI helps pay for groceries, rent, and other essentials. SSI payments reduce the number of people who are living in extreme poverty, and it greatly lessens the burden on other family members. To all SSA employees, thank you for all that you do to ensure payments are on time and our customers receive courteous service even in this very complex program. SSI is very complex. It's complex to administer, and you help people access these critical benefits notwithstanding that complexity. Recent improvements to help reduce customer burdens, though, improve, number one, streamlining what we count as income for calculating SSI eligibility and payments, and that will help avoid penalizing people if they receive support from family and friends. 2, we are simplifying the SSI application process. And 3, we are processing underpayments in a more timely way to ensure that people who are owed money get it as soon as practically possible. We look forward to making more progress. Happy 50th anniversary. Thank you for making a difference through SSI, and here's to many more years of helping people with greater clarity, and greater simplicity, greater fairness, and greater compassion. Thanks a lot.
So those are the 3 changes that Martin O'Malley is committing to for SSI on its 50th birthday. Are those changes good enough? Should those 3 things be 5 or 6 things and have more enhancements? Let us know down in the comments below. Let's go over this article, really interesting. So Budget Chief says immigration surge could add $1 trillion to Social Security coffers. So what was said here, the immigration surge we project from 2021 to 2026 will result in about $1 trillion in additional revenue over a 10-year period. Dr. Felix Swagel, director of the CBO, Congressional Budget Office, told lawmakers during a hearing on Tuesday. Members of the House Ways and Means Committee on Social Security convened to examine the current and projected financial status of the dwindling Social Security Trust Fund. What it's saying here is the House will go through appropriations process and will once again push lawmakers to debate over Social Security funding this month, while Democrats and Republicans continue to war over 2 solutions to the program's waning funds, tax increases on wealthy, or benefit cuts to the program. A third consideration emerged during the meeting: immigration. So Republicans, including former President and presidential candidate Donald Trump, have increasingly pointed to immigration as a drain on social safety nets for the elderly in recent months, including Social Security and Medicare. Top budgetary experts bucked those claims during the Tuesday's panel as they argued immigrants could have a positive impact on Social Security. So Representative Linda Sanchez of California first linked the hearing's topic to immigration reform when she asked the witness if increasing legal pathways to immigration would put Social Security Trust Fund in better shape, which all 3 affirmed, saying that would make a significant difference. Which is what the chief actuary of the Social Security Administration said, saying this, excuse me, immigrations to the U.S. could stand to solve one of the major burdens on Social Security, population stagnation. During his testimony, Goss attributed Social Security's growing shortfalls in part to declining birth rates in recent decades, which in turn meant less workers to alleviate the large baby boomer generation now cashing in on their benefits. Swagel restated that the CBO's 2024 findings that immigrants would contribute to $1 trillion in tax revenue over a 10-year period prompted a question from Representative Gwen Moore. While Swagel acknowledged that the CBO's projection would need to be reevaluated on a regular basis, Goss continued to affirm immigration's positive role in funding Social Security, saying this: there are cases where they have earnings reported. He noted that employers sometimes do file the payroll taxes of their undocumented employees, saying they will likely not get any benefit credit, but payroll taxes still accrue on that point. Undocumented immigrants are unable to collect Social Security benefits while they can unknowingly contribute to its coffers. In 2013, SSA published a report led by Goss, which unveiled that undocumented immigrants paid nearly $13 billion of Social Security taxes in that year alone. So really interesting here from this. So let's hear another perspective. The reality reflected in the figures is at odds with the GOP's messaging. In a March post to Truth Social, Trump linked undocumented immigrants with the decline in Social Security funds, saying this: unlike the Democrats who are killing Social Security and Medicare by allowing the invasion of migrants, I will not, under any circumstance, allow either of these two precious gems to be even touched under a Trump administration. Representative Ron Estes pressed on Goss on whether SSA accounted for impact of illegal immigrants in that yearly report. Absolutely, we always have, Goss responded. The bottom line really is that immigration of any form is actually a positive in the realm we are now, where the birth rates in the country are as low as they are. So really interesting perspective here, basically saying that immigration is going to contribute and give a positive impact to Social Security. Haven't really heard that up until this article. What are your thoughts on that? Do you agree, disagree? The Republicans disagree with this, but the Democrats are supporting this. So really curious, what are your thoughts on this? And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Belle. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you something that you should always do. Sometimes just sit on your bed or like sit at a table on your counter and like sit down and take like 10 breaths. Breathe in and breathe out because you need yourself to feel relaxed. And that's all I wanted to tell you for today. Bye.
If you're curious about the $4,200 stimulus boost to Social Security recipients, you're not going to want to miss this video as I go over an article talking about a $4,200 payment to retirees coming in June. So click that video now and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.